What's up? It's the heavy hitter DJ Mike Medium, and this week on the wrap up, we're talking about Jim Jones airport brawl, somebody spun the block on Drake's house, aka the embassy, and Future and Gunna goes head to head. Let's get into it. So there's been this video making rounds lately showing Jim Jones getting into a scuffle at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. What's going on, Jim? What's going on? It's getting pretty intense, ending with one of the guys who jumped him needing a trip to the hospital for a head injury. According to the cops, Jim's side of the story goes like this. It all kicked off when he stood up to grab his stuff from the overhead compartment in first class while the plane was still landing. I ain't gonna lie, that's a little nervous, but I'm sure you had justification. James Dos Santos apparently took issue with that and pushed him in the chest. Wrong move. Jim says he warned Dos Santos and the guy apologized. Then another passenger named Alexander Leck started yelling at Jim from across the aisle.
But I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real.
Even though the deputies were called, Jim decided not to file a report and just went to get his bags. But things took a turn for the worse at the escalator when Leck made another aggressive move. Jim had to hold him until the cops showed up. And wouldn't you know it, there's a video circling showing Jim tossing Leck down the escalator, followed by both guys taking swings at him. Talk about backing up Jim's story. Despite the drama, Jim's keeping it cool on social media, saying it didn't ruin his time in Miami.
All right, give me a second. I gotta get dressed for this party, man. I'll be right with y'all. Promise you. Promise you. I'm all right.
Oh, and get this. Nobody, not even Jim or his two attackers, is facing charges for the whole airport brawl. The cops are backing up Jim's version of events. Thank God. Law enforcement officials are actively investigating a shooting that occurred outside Drake's lavish Toronto mansion, which coincided with the escalating feud between the rapper and Kendrick Lamar. Now, Toronto police are emphasizing that while they are aware of the ongoing conflict in the rap world, it's too early in the investigation to determine the motive behind the shooting.
Between Lamar and Drake, there's millions of followers on a number of social media platforms. So they're going to be going through all of that to see if there were any threats leveled in the last 72 hours or so.
Despite the heightened tension between Drake and Lamar, there's no evidence linking Lamar to the incident. The shooting left Drake's security guard severely injured after being hit multiple times in a drive-by shooting, prompting urgent medical attention and surgery at Sunnybrook Hospital. The incident unfolded amidst a backdrop of intense diss track exchanges between Drake and Lamar, with Drake's recent release of The Heart Part 6 adding fuel to the fire. Now, police have cordoned off the property and are diligently combing through evidence, including footage of the incident, although no descriptions of the vehicle involved have been provided due to the video quality issues. The shooting marks a troubling turn in the publicized rift between the once close friends turned musical rivals, sparking concerns about escalating tensions within the hip-hop community. Now, this year has seen some intense developments in the music scene. Future and Gunna, once close collaborators, seem to have hit a rough patch in their relationship. This shift is largely attributed to Young Thug's incarceration, leaving Gunna a free man while Thugga faces legal troubles. Gunna's release from custody following their joint arrest in the YSL RICO case led to speculation that he may have cooperated with authorities despite his denial. Consequently, many in the hip-hop community have distanced themselves from Gunna. However, amidst the backdrop, Gunna is gearing up to release his highly anticipated album, One of One, generating excitement among fans. Yet, Future's announcement of a mixtape dropping today also has thrown a wrench into Gunna's momentum, setting the stage for a chart battle between the two. Their recent Twitter exchanges with Future's jab at Gunna's album and Gunna's cryptic response suggest tensions are running high. As they vie for dominance, fans are already taking sides, setting the stage for a fierce rivalry. In the midst of a year filled with rap beefs, it seems like competition between Future and Gunna will only add fuel to the fire. The question remains, who do y'all think will emerge with the superior project. Man, hip hop really made its mark at this year's Met Gala. You know that big event where everyone shows off their fancy clothes? Well, this time, it was all about the rappers strutting their stuff at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City on Monday night, May 6th. The theme was Sleeping Beauty's Reawakening Fashion, putting the spotlight on delicate clothes that are like super special, you know. They even had a whole exhibit dedicated to them in the Costume Institute. And get this, the dress code was inspired by some story called The Garden of Time. You ever heard of it? I haven't. So you know folks were gonna come through with some wild and flowery outfits. Last year was crazy too, with Cardi B, A$AP Rocky, and Doja Cat stealing the show with their multiple outfits and bold choices. This year, it was Nicki Minaj, Lil Nas X, and more showing off their best looks. And of course, Doja Cat was there turning heads once again with her unique style. Oh, and let's not forget about Cardi B's grand entrance in the massive black gown. She needed a whole crew just to make it down the red carpet. Now, some of my best outfits I've seen, shout out to Tyler. She's a baddie, she looked great. Doja Cat as well too. I see you out there and you're gonna be at Summer Jam doing your thing as well. So we can't wait to see what you got going on June 2nd at UBS Arena.